Hi Barbie, it's Barbie, and welcome to the Barbieverse. Today you're about to be read, okay? So if you're not ready for this, if you feel like this is unsolicited, okay? Unsolicited readings or advice, now would be the perfect time to exit out of this video, okay? Giving you some time to think about it. How does your body feel? Notice. And if you're feeling called to stay, let us begin. Today is a beautiful day, and I just been feeling or seeing a lot of birds and just feeling this energy of like flight or like taking off. Yesterday I rode a bike for the first time in a long time, a bike that actually works, okay? Because the way I've been moving around, it's hard for me to buy a bike, so I'd use other people's bikes and it wouldn't really work. But yesterday I used a bike that worked, okay? And the wind blowing in my face, I just felt so free, and it just felt so freeing. And I'm outside in this park, and there's so many birds, and these birds are like really like free in this park. Like they don't even care that we're here or I'm here. They be like perching real close to the grass, and just like coming in your space. Usually birds are really, or animals in general, are scared of us because we're weird. I understand why, but yeah, there's just sorry, my phone ran out of storage per usual, but I did some magic and it's back. But I feel like also, like anytime I'm reading, anything that happens during that reading is always a testament to the energy that I'm reading. And I feel like this newness and this freeness is something that you're attempting to cultivate. And I feel like you've been having glimpses of this free version of yourself, but there's still like that residue of your old life. There's still that residue of the trauma, and there's still those stalls and all of those obstacles and restrictions, resistance, I feel like is a better word, because you feel restricted, but it's not more so in that you can't go here, you can't do that. It's more so on an energetic sense where it's like there's so much resistance to this thing, there's so much fear to this thing, and maybe you can't go there or do that, and that's also frustrating. So many a pause, that you kind of feel uncomfortable in, and it's like, when is it my time to fly? When is it my time to soar? When is it my time to feel embodied, to access and reach that flow state and not be afraid of anything or anything or anyone? Yeah, because a lot of the times it's okay, what are they gonna think? What's even gonna happen? Like, is this even really gonna work out? Like, what's really going on in this energy, and you just have to see things from a bird's eye view or a bird's eye perspective. Woodpeckers might be significant for this collective. I just saw one. I've never seen a woodpecker in person ever. I've only ever seen it in cartoons. And I was like, wow, like that's a woodpecker. And it's pecking wood. Like it was doing a little, And then I asked AI, because I don't think AI is that bad. So I was like, okay, like, what do woodpeckers do? Like, what is all this hype about woodpeckers? And it was just telling me how resilient woodpeckers are, and how strong their bodies are, and the absorption, like when they're pecking the wood, God, Mother Earth designed their bodies to have high absorption of energy, of pressure. And I feel like you are also someone who was built, okay, let's talk about it, somebody who was built with high absorption, and the shock, the trauma that you have absorbed didn't break you, okay? But there is this residue or resistance in the idea that even though you might be built for high absorption, it doesn't mean that you aren't left with some type of damage, with some type of residue, with some type of limp. Who wrestled? What was that guy's name? It was Jacob, who wrestled in the forest. Not in the forest, it was in the desert. It was something. I'm quoting the Bible here, okay? Jacob, who wrestled in the forest with God, and he won, but he left with a limp, okay? He wasn't okay all the way. After that, he won, and he had that spiritual respect of God, but there was still some remnants of just like, okay, like, I've been through a lot. I've taken on a lot. I've bared the load of the traumas of my generations, because if you're watching this video, most likely you're the most aware person in your bloodline. You're the most aware person in a 50-foot radius. Okay, like I feel like you encounter a lot of unconscious people. I feel like you go through a lot when it comes to people not being self-aware and causing so much harm because of it, or just accepting the rules, the regulations, the guidelines, the thought forms, feelings, and emotions that this reality calls for, instead of questioning them. And you as the questioner, you as the thinker, the critical thinker, the Lucifer, you as a Lucifer is just like, oh my God, like, y'all cannot be serious. You can't be serious. Taking things for face value and creating an entire life around the lie. Okay? And so, but what I really wanted to focus on, I haven't even touched the cards. What I really wanted to focus on, though, was that shock absorption that's been happening, that I feel like Seven of Pentacles has been like taking more of a toll out of you than you would like to admit. The Devil card out here. I feel like that resilience that our reality calls for at times can be draining, and there can be this kind of false positivity that comes in where it's like, okay, I can do anything, I am creator of my reality, I am this, I am that, and I don't feel pain, I don't feel emotions, I don't feel Three of Swords abandoned by this path. You know, a lot of the times, especially when it comes to just living life in general, it doesn't matter what religion you are in or what path of life you take, there can be those heavy Page of Coins, feelings of abandonment. We have the Devil card, Seven of Coins, Three of Swords, Page of Coins, a lot of Pentacles, not necessarily having to do with money, but I feel like that abundance or that richness or feeling secure and safe in your body, because that's what all that physical dollar does. It's about safety. It's not about anything else. And if there wasn't that dollar barrier, it would be obsolete. Okay, if there wasn't that barrier, that imaginary barrier of dollar that was created, then it would be obsolete. Money is a representation of your spirit, of your safety within yourself. But I use the word representation very lightly. I feel like that's not a good word to use. More so of like a replication, more than a representation. A replication, like trying to imitate something. You get what I'm saying? And no knock to money, we love it. We love it. But that security and that sense of self, that sense of security, I feel like has been lost for you. Page of Swords, the way that you are viewing yourself, the way that you are viewing safety and security and what that means to you is kind of has been warped by this idea, or no, not even idea, this system that creates all of these barriers to feel quote unquote safe, or illusional barriers. They're creating them in our minds, in our hearts, in our souls, and we're all agreeing to that shit. So it's kind of changing that safety, or that internal safety that you were born with, that internal worth that you were born with, that nobody could ever take away from you, that no one thing could ever snatch from you. It's taking it away. But you have to remember, it's your consent. Two of Cups. It's your consent with this. It's your marriage with this idea that safety comes with a number in the bank. That safety comes with an accolade, or with being better than the people around you, being better than your circumstances or your... Sorry, I had to change the phone because it kept saying it was out of storage. So let's hope this one doesn't. I don't have much left of the reading though, but it's those ideas, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, that have shaped the way that we see our world, and we see ourselves, and we see each other, and like putting all of these unconscious, unnecessary barriers to safety, unconscious, unnecessary barriers to self-love, unconscious, unnecessary barriers to self-worth, and subconsciously, deep within our brain's software, and in our body's being, in our body's essence, we are running in, and I say we because I'm also seeing it about myself, Temperance in reverse, in an unbalanced way. Okay, in an unbalanced view of self. Okay, let me just bring this like this. It keeps bouncing. And I also feel that anxiousness of like what's coming next, because right now I have to pee so fucking bad. So it's like, oh my god, I have to pee and I can't. Like, there's no bathroom close enough to pee right now, so I'm just gonna hold it. And it's that anticipation of like when. And I also had that feeling, or have observed that in taking care of my plants, like that softness, or that soft power of like you having to wait for that divinity to feel like it. Like, what is it even? Like, what is it even? What is it even? Is it like, because in spirituality, or even in any religion, it's like, okay, you're waiting for your ancestors to help you, you're waiting for God to send a miracle or a blessing. And I saw that in my plants, waiting for me to water them. And I was like, what if I just decided to sit here? So what ability does the plant have to water itself? And it really made me question a lot of the spiritual practices. Judgment card in reversed, that we attribute to, or like that we subscribe to. And like, what's really going on? And like the patience and the grace that has to be had at times, especially if you feel like you're waiting on something or someone. Okay? And so like, there's a lot here. I want you to take a breath. Okay? Take a breath. I can feel the energy rising and the curiosity churning. Take a big belly breath inward, filling your belly and chest all the way up there. Exhale. Release, relax, inhale. Exhale. And so, agreements, contracts, ideas, and rewriting them, and what that means to you. Are you honestly waiting on someone or something to make a move? Or are you remembering your power as a creator? Okay? Are you waiting on someone or something to move? Or are you waiting on your power as a creator? The Knight of Cups in reverse. Offers? How about creation? How about you giving it to yourself? And not even in a evil way or like a I want everything in the world to be mine type of way, but in a self-sustainability. Give yourself that love. Give yourself that grace. Give yourself that peace. Give yourself that understanding. Give yourself that wisdom. Give yourself that closure. Give yourself whatever it is that you feel like you may need. 5 of Cups, 10 of Swords. And it feeling heavy. But it's not about a loneliness or like, how do I say this? Because it could lead to that. It could lead to that loneliness. You constantly having to give yourself all of these things and not understanding or adapting the community or having that community to kind of cohort or like create with you. But you have to understand the residue that is left. And in the meanwhile, while your frequency is recalibrating, Queen of Wands, while you're creating High Priestess, that new identity that's going to create whatever it is that you truly desire, you do it for yourself, okay? You do it for yourself. And it's okay to commune and to connect with your spirit, with your ancestors. It's okay to give offerings. It's okay to, find that security, that peace, that love, that togetherness or community with someone or something. But remembering your power first. Remembering your power first. And it's all tied to the worthiness. Because in modern day religion and even occult practices, it's all about what you can create for a certain deity, what you can do for a certain thing or God or whatever. It's about your worship. It's about your thoughts and attention and everything that you can give to it. And so that self-worth idea or that self-worth aspect when you fall short or quote-unquote sin is what's driving the unsustainable nature of this reality. And so when we talk about co-creation and we talk about you working with the divine, it's about you remembering your value and what you bring to the table as a unique individual that will never ever be created again in that same form or fashion that you were created the first time that you were created. Your uniqueness, your oneness. Okay? And so tapping into that, and not in an evil sense. I'm going to keep saying this because people love extremes. Not in an evil sense, not in an over-dominating or domineering sense. The Death card. We put death to that idea and that identity when it comes to self-actualization and realization and being a creator. We put death to that. This is not about domination or control. This is about being. This is about being. Ultimately, being, understanding, embodying. This is about love of self. And love of self replicates and reverberates throughout your entire reality, to the trees, to the grass, to your mother, to your father, to the birds in the sky. Those who seek to control are far from love. Those who seek to control are far from it. That's what my spirit showed me. They always let me do what I want, okay? And they'd be like, we told you, we gave you a suggestion, but you know, moon card out here, you did what you wanted, okay? So Ace of Wands, reigniting that passion and that fire for yourself, that love for yourself, that joy for yourself and who you are and what you embody and what you like and who you want to be and your inner child and what they wanted. Reinvigorating, reigniting that flame of passion for you and not what you can do and not what you can create and not what you need in terms of societal standards, but just you. And in your exact form in this exact second. At what time? What time is it? At 11:24 a.m. in the morning or whatever time you're in this exact moment. But remember, this is also a timeless message whenever you're seeing this. Okay. Okay, that's all I had to say. So I'm going to recap everything that I said because I said a lot. And I was even trying to figure out what I was saying while I was saying it. I was like, wait, but, oh, okay, this is where we're going? Oh, yeah, okay. So, under the self, the love of self, the love of who you are, the love that is inherently yours, and the power and the worthiness that is inherently yours, and you don't have to prove that to anyone by any way of being or acting. There isn't any rules that is going to make you quote unquote better. Even in the like spiritual confirmation, they don't want, like, these sirens. I've been hearing these sirens a lot, like, you're on to something, you're breaking the barrier, you're remembering something from a past life, you're remembering something that may save or help someone, and it's still going. Like that ambulance about to go save and help somebody. But it's about that understanding of who you are as an individual and loving it fully and completely without any rules, okay? Regardless of what you've done. And that's what some religions try to, but they don't do it all the way. They don't do it right because they say one thing and then they do another, and they contradict themselves and still instill shame and fear in the hearts and the minds of the people. But what I'm trying to say for you, or a different way to look at your spiritual journey, it doesn't matter what you are at this point, because even the spiritualism and the hoodoo and the whatever, they all turn into these type of religions where it's about performance and who can create the best and who has the best magic and who's doing this and how good can you make your offering and please all of these these egregores, these creations of our minds. Okay? And I say that with the utmost love and respect. But remembering your worthiness, remembering your love, remembering who you are, remembering your inherent worth, and that's straight from Mother herself. She told me to tell you this, Mother Earth herself. Remembering your inherent worth that I gave to you. Remembering that the food that you always ate, you got it from me. You picked it from a tree. You grew it in the ground. You grew it in my body. And I allowed you to eat of me with no demand for anything except your joy, except your peace, except your happiness. Okay? So all of these politics, like you think you are healing, you think you are creating the life that you desire, but the rules and the politics of most of the content around spirituality, around manifestation, is all determined around your ability to do something. And when you remember your ability not to do something, but to be something, that's when everything changes. Okay? I love you so much. And that's all I had to say to you, baby. Barbie, remember who you are, Barbie. And if you want a free private reading, if you want more, if this is not enough, if you feel like I've just teased you and you really want to invest in who you are and becoming that better version of yourself, you can go to www.barbieacademy.com and book your own personalized reading. Okay? No, Barbie is not about aesthetics. Like when I created Barbie Academy, when I started branding myself as Barbie, of course everybody, likes the Barbie. Who doesn't want to look like a Barbie? Okay? But I looked at it and I was like, this plastic thing, first of all, embodied and imagined into something real. That's number one. Number two, and that ability to create and mold it into any single thing that you want it to be. It could be, Barbie can be a housewife. Barbie can be a model. Barbie can be a gymnast. Barbie can be anything she desires. Barbie can be black. Barbie can be white. Barbie can be anything. Loud, quiet, submissive, assertive. Whatever she herself desires, and not what any one person has designed her to be. Confirmation. Liberate your mind from all of these constructs. The feminists tell you to hate men. The pick-me's tell you to serve them. What do you want to do? Maybe you're a nice medium girl in the middle. What do you want to do? Do you have to go to school? Do you have to start a business? Do you have to be a housewife? What do you want to do? How do you want to live your life? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What is calling your name specifically? Okay? Don't let anybody tell you who you need to be, or what you need to do, or how you need to show up. And that's what Barbie's about. Self-realization, self-actualization from internal review, internal audits, internal simmers, meditations, cohabitating with yourself, understanding yourself, communing with yourself, and asking yourself, who are we? Okay? I love you so much. Again, my name is Barbie, and I will see you tomorrow because I'm trying to post every day. Bye.